How are you? This is the start of the Thelemic holy season, and it's a time when I suspend kind of my regular videos. Last year I did some reciting of the different Thelemic holy books. I'm going to continue with some of the ones I didn't do last year. So that's what you can expect periodically over the next 22 days. And today we're starting with the Prologue of the Unborn, which is the introduction to Liber VII. Liber VII, which is also called Liberi vel Lapidis Lazuli, it's longer than that too, is a book, a holy book, about the process of enlightenment. It's about the crossing of the abyss. In Western magic, this is the symbolism or the phraseology or what have you for that process of crossing through the barrier of the self and into the infinite, into enlightenment. And the master of the temple is the term for the first stage of that enlightenment. It's similar to an arhat in some traditions of Buddhism, or to the sage, being the term that we use in the Yi-Fa Society. So, this first very short piece is an introduction to that part, but on the whole, Liber VII is a 7-chapter a holy book that is connected to the symbolism of the 7 classical planets. Here are the holy books of Thelema. And this text gives, in a very, like all of the holy books, in a very symbolic, very florid kind of verse, a whole bunch of the mysticism and of the secrets, I guess there's no other way to put it, of this concept and of the other concepts that you see in the holy books, because in other parts it talks about other areas of attainment. And so they're incredibly profound and incredibly difficult to understand, but they give you hints that you can grasp, and then later when you've actually reached that attainment, you look back and you say, oh, okay, that is what it meant, yes. So it is an incredible roadmap, and it's important to note that like all of the holy books, although Crowley was the scribe for them, he didn't take any credit for writing it. He was just transmitting it, because these are things that he received as part of the birth process, I guess you could say, of this new stage in human evolution of the Aeon of Horus. And so it was something that he was not the conscious heir of, right? He was not the maker of it consciously. These are incredibly profound texts of mystical and magical processes, and they're kind of guidebooks to magic. I'm surprised at how few magicians, even how few Thelemic magicians, pay enough attention to these texts as a means of having this wealth, this repository of magical knowledge in them. But they're also full of this mystical guidance of this process of spiritual alchemy, of self-transformation, which is what we do in the Yi-Fa Society. So, without further ado, we're going to recite the Prologue of the Unborn. Unborn in this case is the state of a person who's in the abyss, experiencing the annihilation of the ego, the reduction to nothing. And then after that comes the stage of recreation. Right? It's the condition where you are No Man, where you're Nemo, which is a title, you could say, for the adept in the abyss. He neither exists nor is devoid of existence. Okay, let's start. Liber VII, Prologue of the Unborn. Into my loneliness comes the sound of a flute in dim groves that haunt the uttermost hills. Even from the brave river, they reach to the edge of the wilderness, and I behold Pan. The snows are eternal above, and their perfume smokes upward into the nostrils of the stars. But what have I to do with these? To me, only the distant flute, the abiding vision of Pan. On all sides, Pan to the eye, to the ear, the perfume of Pan pervading, the taste of him utterly filling my mouth so that the tongue breaks forth into a weird and monstrous speech. The embrace of him intense on every center of pain and pleasure. The sixth interior sense aflame with the inmost sense of him. Myself flung down the precipice of being even to the abyss, annihilation. An end to loneliness, as to all. Pan, Pan, Yo Pan, Yo Pan. That's everything for today.